Well, top of the morning to you. So today is Sunday, April 23rd, day 37 on the Appalachian Trail. Just left Woods Hole Hostel. Had a wonderful hearty breakfast. And that's a great place to stay. It's a very unique, they had yoga at 4:30 yesterday. Oh, and during yoga class, the guy whose shorts I found came by. He was so happy that I had his shorts and his wallet. He was going to give me a few bucks, like, as a reward. And I'm like, get out of here. So, yeah, that was good. And, yes, they had yoga. They actually had meditation at night, but I was making my phone calls, so I didn't actually do the meditation. But, yeah, real nice, unique place. The woman there, Neville, is a very nice lady. Very nice. And, I got my resupply from Ashley. My new shoes. So we'll see how that helps or hurts my big toe. I put a little more tape on it this morning. So right now it feels good, but I mean, it's still early in the day. So it's hard to find out if it's going to make a difference. I also had a care package from Patty full of cookies baked with love, sugar cookies. And she also included some electrolyte packets. I guess she has heard my video about me not peeing. So she sent me electrolyte packets. So if that works, I'll probably have Ashley, I'll order some on Amazon and have Ashley include them with her packages. But I do know that most people on the trail, I've been talking to people, most people do take electrolytes, so I guess it's important. You know, I always thought that just getting enough salt from all the stuff I'm eating, all the salty foods, would be enough, but I guess not. So anyway, that was greatly appreciated. So I had like, I don't know, 2 packages, which would be 8 cookies yesterday. And they're sweet, so, I mean, and then this morning I packed, I don't know, maybe 4 to 6 packs in my pack. And then she had included peanut butter and some sort of like a peanut butter dipping stick. I forget exactly the name. So I took that, and then I put the rest of the cookies out, and during breakfast announced that if anybody wanted some homemade cookies made with love, they were there, and people were scrambling for them. So that was nice. Little trail magic from my sister Patty. Anyway, life's good. Life's very good. So at the hostel, there's this young kid, Rawcat. I say young kid, 21, maybe 22. And he comes across as very mischievous. And anyway, yesterday, I was in the bunkhouse by myself. Everybody else was out, and I got locked in. And the thing is, it's just like, I know it was him. I didn't say anything to him. But, so I couldn't get out the main door. But luckily, there was like this side door that had been locked from the inside and had a sign on it saying, please use. So I was able to get myself out, unlock the door, and, you know, then lock back the side door. But I know it was him. And the funny thing is, so then like during yoga, he's like, instead of following the yoga, he's like doing handstands and Tai Chi and karate moves. It's like, you know, he's like almost like, I guess, an ADD kid in school or something. And, but anyway, after dinner yesterday, he grabbed an orange, and then, out of the kitchen. And then last night, after meditation, he was up in the bunkhouse and he was talking to me because it was just he and I. And he was saying that the woman, just making sure he doesn't come up behind me, that the woman whispered to him that taking the orange was bad karma, stealing the orange. And he said he thought it was just communal fruit, but she kind of hinted that he knew better, and he probably did know better. Nobody else was taking fruit, you know, so anyway, I guess he returned the orange and she gave him a hug. But before he did, when he was up in the bunkhouse, they had a low ceiling, and he banged his head. And I said, see, that's the bad karma. Anyway, I don't know. He's just kind of like a mischievous kid. I mean, it's kind of harmless, but also like it makes you kind of like on edge because you want to make sure like he doesn't, I don't know, take something from your pack. Oh, and then last night he wanted earbuds. So he asked me and this other guy if we had earbuds. Luckily, I mean, I'm not going to share earbuds. But luckily this other guy gave him his earbuds. Well, somehow he lost them. You know, it's that kind of kid. Anyway, that was just kind of a funny thing. Raw cat. Oh, okay, so today we're trying to go from Woods Hole Hostel to Ricefield Shelter, which is about 18.5 miles. Looks like it's pretty flat. Should be a relatively easy day. So, let's hope so. Beautiful day. It's actually cool. Probably mid-40s. Cool day. And if there's not a lot of uphills, I'll be hiking probably with the puffy coat on. If I get hot, I'll take it off. I lost my headband. It's official. I actually did lose it this time. I went through my pack. Didn't find it. Oh well. So there's Rockcat. So he told me he did find the earbuds. But he also said that the lady that runs the hospital, when he was leaving, said, continue to have tea with the devil. And he took that to mean like, be aware of the devil within you. Like, don't just shut it out, but be aware. And I guess then control your actions accordingly. But interesting people. Very interesting. So I weighed myself at Woods Hole. They had one of those like doctor scales where you slide the weights. 168 fully dressed, including my mid-layer sweatshirt that I'm wearing and my shoes. So I'm figuring my actual weight's probably about 165, which is where I've always wanted to be. Haven't ever been able to get there until now. So that's the weight I've always been kind of shooting for. And, you know, I've been able to get to like 172 sometimes. When I was pushing it, maybe 168 at a point, but 165. So, yeah, I hit my target weight. Probably won't last long. I mean, probably last till I get to Maine, but probably once we get on the Donlin family vacation, it'll be all over. We'll see. So my buddy Steve had another question. He was wondering how crowded the trail is. So in my opinion, it's not crowded at all. I mean, I can easily walk or hike for 2 to 3 hours without running into anybody. So usually what happens is in the morning, right, you're leaving the shelter or your tent site, and there's other people, and they might have left before you, so you come across people here and there for the first hour until everybody kind of evens themselves out. And then you might not see anybody till lunchtime. If I stop at a shelter for an hour, I might see 1 or 2 people who also stop in at the shelter for lunch. And then after lunch, you might run into whoever left the shelter before you on the trail. But then oftentimes you don't see anybody for another 2 to 3 hours till you go to your final destination where there's usually some people. Now on the weekends, you'll meet more people. Okay, so usually seems like on the weekends you see like day hikers, and they seem to always be heading southbound. Probably because you don't run into the northbound ones because you're heading northbound and you're all heading in the same direction. So I'd say you probably see 3 times as many people on the weekends. But for the most part, I'm hiking for 2 to 3 hours without seeing anybody. And if you stop, you might see 1 or 2 people if you stop for an hour. So there you go. Trail is not crowded whatsoever. View of the day. Unfortunately, this clearing is caused by the power lines, but at least it's a clearing and you get to see the view, unfortunately, with the power lines. Beautiful. I love the farm country. So at the Woods Hole Hostel, before dinner and before breakfast, everyone would form a big circle in the yard, and we'd go around and say what we were grateful for. So I thought that was kind of nice. It's kind of makes you reflect on some of the positive things, you know. Of course, out here it seems like everything is positive. So it's just people are so nice. Everybody's friendly. Everyone's helpful. It's really a great experience. So yesterday afternoon, I was in the common area at the hostel, and this guy Bjorn, that's his trail name, Bjorn, and his buddy who I've graduated from college, but they're actually hiking to the graduation. So they're just doing a section hike. They're from Virginia. And Bjorn's saying how after he's done with the section hike, he's going to have to plan, he's got a fiance and they're planning their marriage. And so he passes around this picture of him and his girlfriend, right? Now, Bjorn, I would say, is if I rate him on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best looking guy, I'd rate him as a 5. He's a big guy, super nice guy, but he's nothing, I mean, he's really nothing to look at. He's average, you know? And his girlfriend, his fiance, is an absolute freaking knockout. So I'm looking at this picture and I say to him, I said, Bjorn, I said, you're at least going 3 levels above yourself here. And that was actually just being nice, because he's actually probably 4 levels above himself. But he goes, yeah, he goes, I know. But then later on, that night, I was thinking to myself, you know, that's kind of an insulting thing to say to him. So when he and I were alone, like in the bunkhouse, I said, you know, Bjorn, I said, I didn't mean anything like disrespectful to you about, you know, that. He goes, no, he goes, I agree with you 100%. He goes, I was even telling my friend that a lot of people would have been insulted by what you said. He said, but I took it as a compliment. And he goes, and she treats me nice. So I go, well, that's an important thing. But anyway, it's me and my big mouth. All right. So here's today's view of the day. Love the farmlands. Absolutely love the farmlands. Virginia. It's for lovers. So this is the view. This is the view from Angel Rock, Angel's Rest Rock, and pretty spectacular. But I actually think the other view is better. So this is the rock, not the hostel, because there's an Angel's View hostel as well. I wonder why you're not supposed to drink the water from this little stream. But they warn you here, and it's also on the maps not to drink it. Well, there's the answer to why they don't want you drinking from that stream. It looks like the Pearisburg Town Dump is right there, which is up the hill from that stream. So, question answered. So over there on those cliffs, that's where Angel's Rest was. It's 10 trail miles away, but that's where we were for lunch.